do is I get my ear right down to the head, and you just listen right down there to the tension rods, and they have a little mallet, you know, and I'll just tap around each lug, and I can hear it perfectly. And I like the same principle. The front head is my tone, like the bottom head on the drum. I tune the bottom head for the tone, for the pitch. You know, the top head is to, you know, augment that pitch and the attack, and to make sure that you can actually, you know, play it. And it's the same thing on the bass drum. If the batter head is too tight, for me, it starts flamming. You hit the bass, you hit the pedal, and it starts going.
Yes, all those ghost notes.
Exactly.
Undesirable.
Yeah.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, and for me, when it starts doing that, I can't help it. I can't stop it. So, you know, it's either because it's too tight. So I'll bring that batter head back down, you know, get the wrinkles out. Press down in the center of the head, and then tune, and when the wrinkles go away, that's as far as they go.
Okay.
So, which is usually very, very loose, almost a little bit beyond finger tight. That's too loose for me. You know, I think if you do that, and then you take the front head, keep it a little bit tighter, you get a really nice punchy, you know, sound. And it got the muffling inside too is very important as well.
Okay.
You know.
Do you ever use a tension meter? Or all ear, right? Old school, right?
All ear. Yeah. I don't even. I've tried those, and
do you do a cross on the log? Do you cross? Okay. Mike, so let's talk about how to actually control the overtones on the drums. You know, because one thing that you were mentioning to me earlier was resonance is good.
Yes.
But bad ringing is not.
No.
So you know, so you were telling me you like more the moon gels than the actual rings.
I do. Moon gels or gaff tape. You know, and I think between those two, you can be able to control anything on any drum. Those zero rings, just again, to me, it's too much. I just don't like that sound. I think you can achieve that sound in other ways with just maybe a piece or two of moon gel or gaff tape, you know, and tuning the drum, rather than having to have something that would go and fit all the way around and mute the whole thing down, and it just doesn't sound right to me sonically. I'd rather use a couple pieces of moon gel and tune the drum, you know, lower or higher depending on what you're looking for, and get the sound that way.
How often do you change those heads?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're in the recording studio, I've been involved in sessions where you know we had to change snare heads after every 2 or 3 takes. Had to change that snare because he's such a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Tom heads, depending on what they're doing, if it's a lot of tom fills and a lot of things, you know, we might let them go a day or two, you know. But generally speaking, you know, if it's a real hard heavy band, I would say at least once a day if you're in a recording studio. You know, take a look and listen to it and feel if there's pits, you know, and it depends on how the guy's hitting. You know, like I said, there's a lot of guys that you know put a lot of marks on the heads, but they know how to hit. So you can turn the drum upside down and look inside, and there's no pitting. There's nothing. So it's like, you're going to be okay. That's fine. If you're a heavy hitter and you're playing with small tip sticks and things like that, and, you know, you're going to go along and you hit those toms and they start pitting up, or, like, you know, all over the heads, or, you know, even right in the center, you know, and like on a snare drum, you know, you start getting that valley, you know, it won't last 10 years.
So it's really not the amount of marks that you see on the head.
Right.
It's about how deep it is on the inside.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Because, you know, I've seen guys like Jordan Burns, the drummer from Strung Out, a phenomenal player, just a phenomenal player. Stick marks all over, you know, right in the middle of the head, all over him, all you know, 3 toms up and 2 on the floor. And wow, these heads need to be changed. I take them off and look. It's like, no, and then you hit it. Sounds beautiful. Sounds nice and warm, and they're just getting started. A guy like him, I wouldn't change the tom heads.
There we go.
Yeah, a guy like him, I wouldn't. But
Your to-go drum set if somebody calls for a pop or for a rock band. So what is that?
I always would. The first thing always pops into my mind is DW, and especially here because we have so many great, amazing DW kits. Those drums just, you know, they got it all. I mean,
for a rock band, is there a model that you recommend for DW in particular?
I like any of the collector series. Lately we've been using a lot of the maple mahogany drums. We have 3 or 4 of those kits here, and those are great drums. Also, their new cherry series is really, really nice. It's much more lower pitch, fundamentally lower pitch on the cherry drums. But boy, they're just really, really nice with the cross plies.
That can be good for a metal.
Oh, without a doubt.
Especially with the tuning.
Yeah.
Tuning so loud.
Exactly, and that's why, because you get really low tones and it's real clean all the way through. Those are really, really nice drums, and their classic maple collector series drums are great too.
And you were talking about wood. I mean that you prefer always birch and maple, right?
Yeah, and with an occasional, I shouldn't say occasional. I mean, I like things like Brady drums, the spotted gun drums, and the Jara plies, and the Jara block drums, and everything else that they make. It's just incredible. It's like listening to an EQ drum kit when you're sitting there playing right here in the room with no mics on it. It's unreal. You get that, and 3/4 of the game is won at that point. You take it in, and then you can, fine tune it from there.
And also, you were mentioning that like more pop and rock bands, you go, your wood sound quality that you're actually looking for is more in the birch, and you like maple too. But as it's getting harder, like a heavy metal band, you start like probably preferring more the maple than the birch.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I do, because I think even though when a lot of that music is really, really fast, and a lot of those real fast tom fills. I prefer the birch will get you that really nice or the tom fills, and it's real clean and real fast. But I prefer there to be a little bit more body, a little more tone to the drums that maple will give.
Okay.
So if that means I have to put an extra piece of moon gel on it, or tune it a little bit looser, a little bit tighter, or whatever, I'm willing to do that because I want that extra little bit of tone. And the birch drums are great. They're perfect for that kind of thing. But my own personal taste, I like a little bit more, spread and depth and everything too.